Good morning. This is Thursday, February 18th, 2010, and this is Edward with sonsofgod.com. I love the connection with nature. More and more we feel such a connection with the elements or the elementals, whether they're of the fairy, Menehune, leprechaun, or any of the other orders of elemental spirits that exist. They're very present and always around us. And there are times when you experience a momentary breakthrough and you will see them and experience a communication from them. Sometimes it's just a fleeting moment. Other times it's out of the periphery of your vision. And other times it might be through the vision or dream state. I know that over the last several years they have expressed their desire to see the breakthrough of the sons of God, because they are under a futility as part of creation that Romans 8 speaks of. Quote, "For the anxious longing of the creation eagerly awaits the manifestation or revealing of the sons of God." Creation, we know, is not an inanimate essence lacking in intelligence. Rather, creation is composed of energies and intelligences that are waiting for the release that is yet to come. A couple of times over the past 10 years, the word has come to us that they will not reveal themselves to us until we come up higher in our vibration, that the initiative is upon us, that as we come up higher in our vibration and in our sensitivity, then we will have more interaction with them. However, they will not make the first contact, and it remains upon us to come up higher into a deeper level of abiding that will initiate the connections to come. We have found that many of them are a bit nervous, for they don't really understand what is exactly happening. There are some, like the Menehune, which would be the little people that exist in the Hawaiian Islands, that are very much aware of the kingdom. And they're aware that the Father is bringing forth something new that involves His sons. I know that between the Hawaiian Islands and the mainland of California exists a channel in the realm of spirit through which they travel, and we have seen them at times come and minister to us, not as much as we would love to have experienced, but they are very active and they're very focused and concerned about what is unfolding during this season. They are the exception, for the majority of the orders of creation are not really aware of exactly what's unfolding during this time. I know some have come sensing both the authority and the power and really wondering just what we are. And we've had to still their fears and say basically that we're of the order of the Son of God. There is so much that awaits us as we continue to come up higher in our vibration, which means in English that as we shed the weights of the soul, because there is only one future for the soul, flesh, or Adamic nature, and that is to see it crucified. And as we begin to see the soul, flesh, Adamic nature brought to an end through the work of the cross, we find that the weights and the shackles that we've been running this race seem to fall off. Isaiah, I believe, the scripture talks about calves skipping from the stall. There's a freedom that's coming to God's sons. We've sensed it and we felt it in part, but it's a freedom that's coming because there's a stripping away of the soul, flesh, nature. For we know that the kingdom is spirit. And how does the scripture go? Flesh and blood will not inherit the kingdom. Your soul is not going to inherit the kingdom, but your spirit will be. I know that the scripture says that God is going to save you to the uttermost, spirit, soul, and body, that there is a sanctification going on. But the end result is that the soul, flesh, Adamic nature that has been at enmity and at odds and so hostile to what God is doing will come to an end. And as that does, the freedom, the liberty, and the release is beyond anything that we've ever known. It's like taking a massive weight off your back that you've been running, and all of a sudden you just find that it takes nothing to just take right off. It's taken a long time to get to this point, but now that we've come so close to this point, I believe we're looking at a season of a quick work, of seeing a completion with the end of the soul nature. And as Malachi says, who can stand when he appears? For he is as a refiner's fire. And we're in the times of the appearing of the Lord, but we also know that he will come suddenly to his temple, but not until that temple is ready to be possessed fully by the Lord. And that's why it's crucial that we see the end of the soul-flesh nature. And I know I'm deviating here from the elemental issue, but I think that all of you realize that you cannot do this in yourself. You cannot bring yourself to the end of yourself. Just say, okay, I'm done with the soul. We're so done with it. That's fine. But we cannot do this. Not even your brother or your sister. But to me, it is an act of God. It is a greater work. It is something of a miracle level, where God brings this to pass by his grace, because that was the promise to Zerubbabel. So there is a tremendous liberty that we're looking at that is coming very soon. I know that the scripture says, in my Father's house are many dwelling places. And Christ said, I go to prepare a place for you, that where I am, you might be also. And where is that? That's on the highest level of his presence. It doesn't negate the fact that there are many houses, many levels, many dwelling places within the Father's house. But for his sons, he has prepared a place in his presence on the highest level. We've been talking about the different orders of creation and the other levels of life that live on other dimensions. All of them are looking for the release of the sons of God. In many ways, I don't think they even know what it is they're looking for. I think they're sensing it. From what I've seen, I don't believe they have a grasp of it. But there's a yearning and a longing within them to be free, and there is something of a sensing of a connection that's coming. I recall a young girl who approached us many years ago in vision. From what level, I don't know. If it was the fourth dimension or the fifth, I don't remember. But she came and said that it was written in their scrolls that they're looking for the one that will come. And she asked me if I was that one. But I believe what she was talking about was the race of the sons of God, those whom God is bringing forth in this hour, whose destiny in part is to see a releasing of all creation, regardless of what we've known or even yet understood. For all of creation we know is more than the earth, the water, the rocks, and the inanimate about us, but it's comprised of every dimension within our Father's house. Bless all of you, and thank you for listening.